Subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon to never miss any updates. So, hey Matt, what is up?
Not too much, man. Thank you for having me on.
And before getting started to the podcast, I want you to introduce yourself. What do you do? And about I've seen your Instagram profile, and you are very much focused towards the fitness. So, tell me about yourself.
Yeah, so I am a personal trainer. I'm a coach as well. I've been doing that for the past 7, 8 years now.
Okay.
Obviously, heavily into fitness. I've competed in bodybuilding, powerlifting, Olympic weightlifting. Now I'm switching over into boxing. Like fitness is all encompassing for me. It's my whole life. I also am a co-owner of a supplement company called Canadian Fuel Nutrition. So that's the main things. And then obviously on the side, I enjoy music. I enjoy making music, doing artistic stuff as well. So, I have my eggs in too many baskets, as some would say. Man of too many talents, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of industry.
Yes, yeah, exactly. So no, but I mean, the main industry is obviously the fitness. That's what my lifestyle is. It's what my career is, and the influence I want to have revolves around mainly making sure people can stay fit and healthy.
Okay. So the one thing that the instant question that came in my mind is that I heard a lot about Americans that I mean, most of the Americans have the problem with obesity. So is it true, and how and why they are not focusing a lot more on fitness?
Yeah, so that is so with America, it's true. I mean, even in Canada, I'm from Canada, and you've been seeing it recently that obesity rates have been rising. The health epidemic of terms of people just not living healthy, overweight, it's rising. In America, I believe the percentage of overweight is like over 40%, 50% of their population obese, which I believe is 30 pounds overweight is 30 or something percent. It's a big number.
Yeah, it's
One of
half
the
of the
biggest
population.
Yeah, almost half. Yeah, it's crazy. And I think honestly, the biggest reason is there's not enough education when it comes to fitness.
Okay.
Not enough education. There's too much money in marketing fast food as well as, quick, easy fixes. People, especially within Canada and America and North America, what I've seen is people really want that instant satisfaction. They don't want to put in the work. They don't like hard work. They don't like a hard day's work. They like being comfortable. They want to stay in their comfortable little bubble, and they aren't willing to really do much else to get away from that. So that's what you're left with, is somebody who's not really willing to work on themselves because they don't necessarily have to, because they have all these distractions around them. McDonald's, Wendy's, Burger King, all these places. It's a lot easier to go to Burger King than it is to make some food at home for yourself, right? So that's one of the reasons. And honestly, lifestyle. Lifestyle is definitely one of the biggest things. Again, people just don't have the mindset to put in a hard day's work, in my opinion, anymore. So that's why I've been seeing.
People have money, but they are spending in
Spending in the wrong spots. Spending in the wrong spots. Absolutely. Yeah. My biggest thing is, yeah, you can have all the wealth in the world, but if you can't even move your body properly, is it even worth it? Some people may say yes. I highly disagree with that, though.
Yeah, exactly. And if we connect the obesity scenario with the COVID-19, we can clearly see that the people who have lost their lives are those who have very less, poor immunity system. So if they would have maintained the fitness level properly, the scenario would be not like that.
Yeah. So in Canada specifically, I know the statistics for Canada, not so much the States, but in Canada specifically, the people who died here were over the age of 65 with 2 or more comorbidities. One of those, and the leading cause, was obesity and heart disease, which was, I believe, made up 79 or 80 something percent. So of all the people you saw dying from COVID, they were over the age of 65, or they were overweight or obese. Or they had, a health problem or something. But yeah, it was a huge impact. I mean, you can just see it anyways, even pre-COVID. The people who stayed healthy were the ones who were taking care of themselves to stay healthy. Most people didn't get colds, they weren't getting flus. But if you're putting trash food into your body every day, if you're just staying at home, not moving, your immune system just fails on you, right? So those were the same people that were getting sick that tended to get sick with COVID as well. Your body isn't willing to fight off if you're not willing to put up a fight for your body,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
Okay. So, have you observed that the importance of fitness increased a lot after the COVID happened, or it's just like people are the same?
It's a little tough to say right now. Where I am specifically, we're still going through it. We're still in lockdown. I will say again, my group of my network is mainly in the fitness industry, so people definitely took it more seriously. I have seen a big increase in people wanting to take it more seriously. I've also seen a big increase of people that were very content staying at home and using COVID as the excuse to not do any work, to not do any workouts, to not cook for themselves, just support, local restaurants. And they'll put it behind all these excuses to not work on themselves to stay healthy. So it's kind of up in the air right now, but it's kind of a split is what I've noticed.
Okay. So another thing that I would like to ask is that I mean, in especially in North America, people spend a lot of money on restaurant-based food or outside food, or I should say, ready-to-eat food or something like that.
Yeah.
So my question is that here in India, we most of the people would prefer to cook and eat the food. There is very, if we talk about the population and compare it with the people are interested to go for a restaurant to eat, the if you will find that the penetration is really low. But when it comes to America and Canada, people, I mean, spending a lot more on this food, this type of food, which is actually a garbage for their body. So,
Yes.
I mean, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I think the big thing comes from, I think the logic behind that is, I mean, you walk out your door and there's McDonald's on every corner. They're readily available. There's McDonald's. We have a coffee chain called Timeframes. You walk out and there's restaurant, and then maybe 20 minutes away there's a gym. So there's definitely that. It's definitely very, very easily accessible, as well as there's a social aspect behind it. I found. My understanding from, I've trained a few Indian clients, and my understanding was social events for India typically revolves around inviting people over, cooking, having food, doing stuff like that. What we have in Canada and North America is typically the social event is going out to go eat.
Okay.
That's a big part of it. The other thing too is, again, people have gotten really comfortable with being lazy. And I'm not prejudiced against anybody in the world aside from two types of people, which are stupid people and lazy people. So if you're lazy, yeah, obviously it's going to be a lot easier to go to the store, order in food off Uber Eats or something like that. So yeah, you've definitely seen a big increase in that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Okay. So, and I mean, I've observed that people are confused between the terms, which are I mean, maintaining the body and maintaining the body by staying fit versus bodybuilding. So youngsters, especially I talk about youngsters, they just go in the gym and they just spend a lot of energy on I mean, different type of equipments. And I mean, they don't know how they should be how they should plan for their body, but they, I mean, they spend a lot of time on gym, but they don't know how to maintain the body. And that is why we can say that what is the difference that we can consider maintaining body by staying fit. I mean, you need to have a proper immunity so that your body can survive in any kind of, I mean, worst case situation. And what about bodybuilding is completely different kind of thing, I believe.
Yes and no. So I totally agree with you in terms of, like, youngsters are the people that are just getting into it. The bodybuilding has a bad rep in terms of, it's heavily revolved around body image. It's heavily revolved around dieting. It's very heavily revolved around, like, no cardio. Don't do cardio. Only lift weights, right? And that's very unfortunate because, I mean, the main thing, even if, people say cardio kills your gains, well, not doing cardio kills you, right? You need cardio to improve your cardiovascular system, your heart health, your lung health, all that. You can't just stick just the weights. But yeah, there's a big issue with bodybuilding, with body image and all that. So then, I mean, if you want to delve even deeper, then that's where people, like you said, there's no more just fitness to stay healthy. It's do this bodybuilding. I'll do it as unhealthy as I possibly could, as long as I achieve this certain look. So in North America, for especially, I've seen this on social media now, which has been horrible, is SARMs and steroids. You know, young kids, 16, 15, some of them are starting to take these drugs because they want to look a certain way without understanding the repercussions of what they're taking. They don't have any proper idea of how to take it properly. They don't have any idea of how to diet properly or train properly. So they're ruining their bodies and they're ruining their health just to achieve a certain body look. So that's where bodybuilding can kind of distort the view of what fitness is. But you go online and you look at somebody who's a bodybuilder and you're like, wow, muscles and abs, and they look great.
Yeah.
Sure, that they look great, but are they healthy on the inside? And that's what matters most. And so, as you were saying, yeah, fitness is, in my opinion, fitness isn't how you look. It's how you feel, it's how you perform, and it's how healthy you actually are. And it's hard to acknowledge that because, again, I'm not sure what it is in India, but in North America, we look up to these movie stars that are buff, they're ripped, you know, they're big muscles, abs, super lean. And that's the idea of fitness. And even they're not super fit, right? On terms of, you know, healthy wise. So that's been a big problem I've seen recently. But I will always say this, fitness is not about how you look. It's about how you feel. It's about what you're, how strong you are. It's about, you know, what's going on the inside and how healthy you are.
And I mean, you said that about movies and web series, people get influenced. And in India, it's the same kind of situation that if anyone, any actor who is looking, I mean, dashing and have a good body, then people would prefer to do the same kind of work. But they never know that they have a huge team managing managing the diet, and we also never know if the person has taken a steroid or not.
Exactly. It's the same thing here. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so we can say that the movie and web series based culture is not a good thing for youngsters.
No, I would say honestly, social media and this type of culture it's horrible for them. It's a lot of bad images.
Okay, so what do you think about Canadian people? Are they health conscious, or you just said that it's the same like Americans? They don't care about. Most people don't care.
I'd say Canadians are probably more health conscious because we have in Canada, we're universal healthcare. We have free healthcare. We pay for it through our taxes. So, you know, if I'm paying my taxes, somebody 3,000 kilometers away from me, I could be supporting their healthcare. So I think people are definitely more, they appreciate their health more because, again, with Canada, it's a little bit tough, you know, like, it really just comes down to Canadians are just more health conscious for the reason that, you know,
you can talk about the people living in different provinces. So different people have different tendency to how the fitness is like.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, with Canada, it's just, you know, we understand we have more education towards health. In high school, or middle school, you're taking courses on, you know, how to eat properly. Not like heavily. It's not, and honestly, those courses, they're not great. They need a huge revision, but it's a good start. So if you're going through school and, you know, you're in the 5th grade, you're 10, 11 years old, and you're being told, you know, this is how you should eat a meal, should be, you know, this much of your palm should be a protein, this much of your palm should be a carb, and this much should be a vegetable, like stuff like that. You kind of take that on to later life. And maybe it's not the best way of doing things, but it does help a lot. And then it does get people into fitness. In high school here, I'm not sure if you're similar, but it's mandatory to take a gym class. So it's, you know, it is important to put that and instill that on younger people. So I do think that there is a little bit, we are a little bit better than Canadians, or Americans, sorry, but it could be better. It could always be better.
Okay, so another thing that about you said that about the healthcare system. I've heard that the US healthcare system is extremely expensive, and I want to know that what is the difference between Canadian healthcare system or US healthcare system, or is it like the both are same?
No, Canadian is completely different. Canadian is universal healthcare.
Okay.
So Canadian healthcare is paid for by everybody in the province. So in Ontario, for example, this is just one province within Canada. We have something called OHIP, which is Ontario Health something plan, insurance plan.
Yeah.
That's what it's called. So when you pay your taxes, you're basically paying for a collective healthcare system. So if I go into the hospital with a heart attack or something like that, I literally will just have to pay for the parking. I pay for parking, and that's pretty much it. My food's paid for, the medication's paid for, the doctors are paid for, the room I'm in is paid for, like everything is paid for. Vice versa, you go down to the States, and if you don't have any insurance whatsoever, you can get private insurance. But if you don't have any insurance, you're paying out of pocket for all that. So you're paying $200,000 for the room. You're paying $100,000 for the medication, the healthcare. You know, you're coming out of the hospital from a heart attack with $500,000 in debt.
Oh my
Now,
God.
the States, yeah, it's bad. The States does have public healthcare as well. It's just not the greatest. However, in Canada with the universal healthcare, there is now issue because we take so long because again, it's universal. It's for everybody. Everybody goes in and deserves their equal share. I could be waiting 10 months for a surgery that I need 3 months from now. So a lot of Canadians, what they'll actually do is go down to the States and just pay out of pocket for it. So obviously, you know, there is pros and cons to it. I'm
Hmm.
fine not having to pay a huge, you know, $500,000 to go to the hospital. So I do prefer that though.
Okay, okay. So the conclusion is Canadian healthcare system is far better compared to the US.
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay,
Yeah, it is.
okay. So here in India, I've seen a lot of people have started buying bicycles, and they just regularly have started going for bicycle cycling. So
Awesome.
what do you think that what are your thoughts on daily cycling? And you have you ever seen such kind of scenario in Canada? Because I have read tons of articles where it was mentioned that in the countries like the United Kingdom and Germany, people have started purchasing bicycles to maintain their fitness.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
what do you think
absolutely.
about it?
Yeah, absolutely. Biking and so the most underrated form of exercise is walking and biking.
Okay.
Walking is easy because you have two legs. Biking, yeah, you have to purchase the bike. In Toronto specifically, where I'm located, we have two different programs for bike assistance. So we have something called rideshare, where you can actually go rent a bike for 2 hours, 4 hours. You pick it up at one location, you drop it off at another location. So people love that here. The other thing is we actually have bike lanes. So on our roads, we have car lanes going one way, car lanes going the other. Beside that, we actually have just a specific bike lane that is only meant for people riding their bikes. So there has been a huge increase in the major cities, at least.
Hmm.
I'm not too sure about like further out, but in the major cities, people definitely love biking. It's a great way to stay healthy. It's a great way to stay fit. Plus,
Hmm.
you're not polluting the environment with gas and with
Yeah.
cars and traffic, right? So yeah, it's definitely something I recommend.
Okay. Okay. And I mean, according to you, what is more important? Because it's like a very confusing question that maintaining a proper diet is more important, or doing regular exercise, or both.
Oh, that one's true. It's I will say both. It's very important to have both. My what I teach my clients and what I tell people when I'm educating them on fitness is 80% and 20%, the 80-20
Okay.
rule. 80% of the time, you want to be aware of what you're eating. You want to be aware of how you're moving. You want to be aware of what you're putting into your body and what you're outputting your body to do. 20% of the time, it doesn't really matter. 20% of the time, go ahead, go have a fast food, go have junk food, go have McDonald's. 20% of the time, fine, stay on the couch, sit at home, do nothing, don't worry about working out, right? So if you're looking at a week standpoint for that, 80% of the time, so Monday to Friday, you eat a clean, healthy diet, you are paying attention to what you're eating. On the Saturday, you can go out and you can go out with friends. You could have some food. You can maybe indulge a little bit, have a slice of chocolate cake, something like that. Same thing with working out with fitness, maintaining the health. Monday to Friday, try to be doing at least 30 minutes of exercise. And it doesn't have to be much. It can just be, as we were just talking about, the cycling or the walking. Just do that Monday to Friday, at least 30 minutes a day. Saturday and Sunday, just take the day off, relax. Don't worry too much. But as long as you're doing something 80% of the week, and then 20% of the week you're kind of relaxing, that's totally fine. But 100% you need to focus on both. If I were to say two, or which is more important of the two, it is variable person to person. But I would say movement is probably better just for the benefit of it. Whereas with diet, as long as you're not eating a really, really, really bad diet, then you can kind of get away with it with the movement.
Okay. So
Kind of a tough question.
yeah, I mean, so I mean, what about workout at home? What do you say? And before this jumping into this question, I want to ask that. I mean, what do you think when people say that they don't have time to work out? Have you faced such kind of
Oh,
clients who just keep saying that we don't
all the
have
time.
time to working out?
All the time. So I will always ask them this: do you have time to go to work? Do you have time to watch TV? Do you have time to go on your phone and scroll through Instagram, TikTok, YouTube for hours on end? And if they answer honestly, and everybody, I'll ask all the viewers that are watching this right now, ask yourself that. Do you have 30 minutes where you waste on your Instagram just scrolling mindlessly through your feed? Absolutely. Fitness does not have to be just a big chunk of your day. It doesn't have to be a 2-hour workout or this or that. You are not too busy to work out. You are just too lazy to work out. You're making the big excuse for yourself. So, and again, working out doesn't have to mean going to the gym, pumping a ton of weights, doing a crazy hard workout. Go for a 30-minute walk. Go for a 20-minute walk. Something super easy, right? As long as you're moving your body, that is more than enough. But don't make the excuse that you don't have time for anything because you're sitting at home watching Netflix or you're watching TV.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
So it was really interesting to know about this.
Yeah.
So what do you think about, I mean, workout at home? Because see, there are many people who would not prefer to go to gym. I mean, they don't want to buy bicycle or something like that. They just prefer to stay at home and just want to do workout at home. And what do you think about that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if it's what you prefer and it gets you moving, then absolutely. You can totally gain muscle working out at home with just body weight or bands or whatever, even a soup can, during the pandemic, I had clients working out with soup cans, textbooks, heavier textbooks. I was getting them to use that as weights. It's definitely possible to reach your goals just being at home. Now, again, it really does come down to what are you more comfortable doing? What do you enjoy doing? The only way you're going to stick to a routine is really if you enjoy it. If you enjoy staying at home and working out at home, doing body weight exercises or cardio or biking, whatever, you're more likely to stick to that and you're more likely to reach your goal and stay healthy. Whereas if you don't like going to the gym, then you probably won't go. So now you're not working out and you're not going to reach your goal or you're not staying healthy. So it's definitely a possibility to reach your goals doing it. You just have to see which one you like better.
And it's very easy to maintain the fitness. You just need to spend, I mean, 25 to 30 minutes a day. It's that simple.
Absolutely.
But people keep excusing that they don't have time and all such things. Even at home, they can do regular basic exercises. They just have to do some research on internet. It's just one click away, but still people are not aware about that.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. People, if you really want something, you'll do it. If you don't, then you'll make excuses, right? And that's typically what people will do. They'll make the excuses because they know it's hard work.
Okay. So here is my final question. What do you think about yoga?
Yoga. Oh, I love it. It's great. Let me ask you this though, like yoga in what regard? Like what do I think of yoga because of what? Like
because
just for
of India?
Overall fitness? Oh, because of India. Okay. Yeah. So no, yoga is amazing. I love you. I've stopped doing a little bit of yoga. I mainly just do like static stretches and stuff like that now, but I absolutely love yoga. I highly recommend every single person do it. There's not one client that I haven't said to, no, don't do yoga. I will say it to every single client. It's absolutely amazing. It's very good for you. It teaches you very good technique in terms of learning how to brace your core and use your body and stretch, as well as very good for meditation, breathing techniques, depending
Exactly,
on what
exactly.
style of yoga, right? Obviously, if you're doing like a vinyasa or something like that, it can be a lot tougher. But if you're just doing a regular yoga flow, absolutely, I think it's definitely something that can help you clear your head, feel better about your body, and it's a good
Yeah,
workout as well.
it is. I mean, it is extremely helpful for mental health as well. Not we are not just
Absolutely,
talking
yeah.
about physical health. It also
Hmm.
helps us in mental health also.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's amazing what it can do for you.
And what is about the awareness level of yoga in Canada?
Yeah, it's pretty. There's yoga, like we have specifically like our weight gyms and all that stuff, but there's a lot of yoga studios as well. People here do very much like yoga.
Okay.
You could probably within a 10-kilometer radius of your house, if you're in a bigger city, there's probably 1 to 5 yoga studios around.
Okay.
Yeah, it's people like it here. We like it here.
I mean, I've read many articles and watched videos that if I talk from India perspective, Western countries like Europe, America, Canada have people have started focusing a lot more on yoga to
Mhm.
maintain their physical fitness and mental health as well.
Yeah, yeah, it's true. Especially we have in Toronto specifically, there's a subsection of Toronto called Brampton. There's a huge Indian population there.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
having
have you heard that Brampton city has many Indians?
yes, yeah, it's about 70-ish% of the city is Indian.
Yeah,
Yeah, so we have like Canada. Everybody kind of comes here to either study, live here, live a new life, kind of thing. So we have tons of cultures, and there's a huge Indian culture that brought over that culture with them. They brought the yoga, they brought these meditation styles, and so people just fell in love with it. Because I can't speak for everyone personally, but I love learning about new cultures. So when I first heard of yoga, it was like, oh, okay, I learned the westernized version of yoga. But now, knowing like as I got older, 10 years ago when I started learning more about it, that's when I really fell in love with where it came from, the cultural differences between it, like how you guys do it over there and how we do it here. And
yeah,
you've definitely seen that shift too within Canada. You definitely see it turning more towards the Indian style and focusing more on the cultural aspects of yoga instead of just being, just for fitness and just pay me my money and I'll put you through a stretch session. Now it's about the culture. It's about proper yoga, proper meditation, proper mental health and physical health. It's amazing.
and if we talk about the situation of lockdown, right? People
Mm-hmm.
have felt that mental health is very much important because they are alone at home. I mean, they have 2 to 3 people at home. They are not allowed to go outside, and
Yeah.
during such kind of time, it is very difficult to maintain mental health because you cannot socialize, you cannot communicate by in person. So it becomes
Mm-hmm.
very important. It becomes very beneficial if one starts focusing on yoga and meditation as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, focusing on your own mental health and your own mindset, right?
Yeah,
Too many people get into, and that's what's the beauty of fitness and yoga specifically, but yeah, like fitness in general. People get into it for body image issues. They get into it just to lose weight, to look a certain way. Whereas fitness is much, much more than that. It goes on so many deeper levels. It helps with the mindset. It helps with the positivity. It helps with your outlook on life. It helps you become a better person,
yeah.
in my opinion. Right. So it's definitely, yeah, it's definitely, if you're still in lockdown like we are here in Toronto, take up yoga.
Okay, okay. And also that if one starts focusing on maintaining health, it is very natural that if your body is moving better, your mind will also work better. It's very
Absolutely.
simple, but people do not understand and they just ignore all such things, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, yes, I've seen that quite a bit. My favorite thing when I train clients and see the progression, it's amazing to see my clients progress with their weight loss or their muscle gain or they hit their fitness goals. But it's amazing to see them also start shifting their mindset and working more towards their actual goal, like
Hmm.
quitting their job to go do something they've wanted to do all the time because they have the confidence now or they have the energy to put in the work. they got that pay raise because they've been working their ass off, because now they have the energy to do it. Or, they're able to raise their kids better, and they're able to go on hikes with their significant other. Like, fitness is much, much more than just looking away. It is everything. Life is fitness, in my opinion. So the mindset, the internal, the health, everything. So that's what I love seeing with my clients, is just the amount of success that you can have outside of just looking good, whether it be money, wealth, health,
Yeah.
all these things, right?
So in conclusion, we can say that health is wealth. It's
Health
that
is wealth.
simple.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
I also urge you to use this statement for promoting your personal brand.
Yes, I have before. Absolutely. Yeah, health is wealth. Health is wealth.
Yeah. So thank you so much for coming in the show and accepting my invitation. And
Of
finally,
course,
is
man. Thank you.
there anything that you want to ask me?
Um, I wouldn't necessarily say ask you. I just, thank you so much for having me on here and reaching out. It was, I've listened to a few of your podcasts on the financial stuff, so it was great. I understand it because my dad was in finance as well. So I love how you were connecting the two. It's amazing, because that's the biggest thing, with fitness. I do believe that if you have a fit health and fit minds, then you can accomplish anything. So yeah,
Yeah,
thanks for
yeah.
having me on, man.
And also, I my focus towards making content is for general. It's not, you will not
Mhm.
see that it is more India centric. It's like the
Yeah,
broad approach. So anyone who wants to learn about personal finance and investing, they can just watch reel or just YouTube video. They can get a lot of idea about it.
absolutely. Yeah, no, it's awesome. You're doing good work.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Of course, man.
So finally, we are closing, and thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.